local and foreign tax collectors, but they were giving Nigeria nothing. And we're talking of money in hard currency. Now it's no longer the same. You know? So I believe some progress has been made, but more can be made if we work better. And that is why civil society organizations have to come in, academics have to come in, political parties have to come in, politicians have to come in. Everybody must play a role so that we fight corruption more successfully. Then I also said, under the Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption, a lot has been done. You know, even today, if you listen to the speech by the President yesterday when he was swearing in the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, he has complained about the judiciary in Nigeria. That much as you want to fight corruption under democracy, you must use the judiciary. Without the judiciary, it's going to look like something else. He has been saying that when he was a military head of state, he arrested looters and put them in prison, and he said they are guilty until they can prove their innocence. But today the system says you are innocent until it is proven that you are guilty, and you are proven guilty beyond reasonable doubt, whatever that means. Therefore, courts have become a platform for theatrics by lawyers, for display of words and display of legal interpretation. Now it is because of this, judges complain that many a times cases of corruption are lost because the investigators have not done a very good job. That's also sometimes the prosecutors have not done a good job. Therefore, the judges cannot in any way determine the case properly. Therefore, what they needed was a training for investigators, for prosecutors, and for the judges. I must tell you that under our committee, we have done a lot of training to ensure that investigators, prosecutors, and judges are properly trained so that when cases are taken to court, they can be listened to very swiftly. So, you can say that is progress, and I did say that that is what is called PICA. PICA, P-I-C-A, Presidential Initiative of Continuous Audit. If you look at you see the Nigerian workers are saying that they need a minimum wage of 30,000 naira. Believe me, if we can be honest as a country, Nigerian workers can get much more than 30,000 naira as minimum wage because the money is there. But we have ghost workers, and the ghost workers also have ghost workers. You know? When this government came under PICA, Presidential Initiative of Continuous Audit, at least over 40,000 ghost workers have been taken out of the payroll, saving billions and billions of naira. You know? The same thing with this contract appointment. Some people are said to be given contract appointment, but they are not doing the contract appointment. Somebody is claiming the salary. Therefore, this government brought about what is called PICA. They brought about treasury single account, so that whatever money is collected, it goes into one single account. Collections are seen, withdrawals are also seen. Before this government came, you can have a ministry with over 40 different accounts. And those some of the accounts are only known to the head of the place and the treasurer, if it is the treasurer. Only two of them, and they are the only signatories. Therefore, all the accounts have been closed. We had a situation where banks were using government money to give credit to government. Then we had a situation where dubious government officials opened suspect accounts and deposited billions and billions of naira. If you remember, in the last 2 months, Heritage Bank had to surrender to Nigeria 157 billion naira. We can continue giving examples. Discoveries are continuously being made. Banks, lawyers, accountants, auditors have conspired against Nigeria, professionals generally, architects. Many people believe if you don't have the cooperation of professionals, lawyers, architects, bankers, auditors, all these quantities are theirs because they are the one who give quotations, then the fight against corruption will not be complete. But if they cooperate, a lot of progress can be made. So Treasury single account has brought about a lot of progress in terms of collection, and government can now monitor. Then you can remember the issue of VEX, Voluntary Income and Assets Declaration Scheme. That one was brought by the Federal Revenue Service because many people come to Nigeria and do business, but they don't pay tax. And as a result of that, people who are given a window to come and pay tax. You know, if you pay within that time, there will be no penalty. And we are so lucky, many companies, many individuals came to pay. Now, those who are captured in the tax net has increased by over 5 million taxpayers. Now, all this is happening because there is some determination to sanitize the country of corruption, to ensure that what is due to government is collected and goes to the government, what is due to society goes to society. And I must tell you, a lot of property has been collected. One is beyond doubt. Nigeria, I mean, Abuja has been classified as the major city in the world with exotic buildings that are built, closed, and kept away. You know, many buildings in Abuja today, people don't want to go close to them because they are being monitored. Once you go close to them, they will arrest you. Many buildings have been abandoned today in Abuja. Very, very expensive. A deputy director with many estates. So we cannot continue like this. Please let's pay attention. Stop that. All right. A lot of resources. Some of us are angry with this. The elite is doing all this at the expense of the lives of the Nigerian people. Some of us can remember how money meant for the military was distributed like chocolate. Houses have been collected. Now some of these houses are very, very expensive. So much so that maintaining them has become a problem. You know? Therefore, the government is now going to auction many of them and put money in the treasury, because the fear is that if this government goes, the next government may come and give it back to them. The money that has been returned is being utilized for many things. And I must tell you that a lot of money has been recovered from outside the country, and we are still pursuing a lot of money from outside the country, especially US, UK, Switzerland, and many other. I give you one example to show you how stupid some Nigerians are. You know, somebody bought an expensive, very expensive building in Switzerland in a very highbrow area. After paying, the person simply locked the place and left. Over 6 months, no entry, no exit. Then a journalist conducted investigation and he found the person who bought it is a Nigerian. Then he wrote a memo and sent it to Nigeria. Now government has pursued and it discovered there is a government official. It has been confiscated. This is the extent of our stupidity as Nigerians, to deprive our people of decent living, take the money out, and please, I want you, when we finish, if you can Google, just Google what is called kleptocratic tour. There is no word, kleptocratic tour. You will see what Nigerians do, let's say in UK. You know kleptocracy. Kleptocracy is a government of the rich, unbelievably rich, coward. All other people are inconsequential. Kleptocratic tour, KLEPTOCRATIC. Kleptocratic tour. Just go under Google and see what you will see what you will see. All right? Now, in order to ensure that we don't waste the resources of this country, what has been recovered must be managed. Otherwise, you will recover properties only for them. You know, many things have been, including ships. Nigeria has recovered ships, airplanes, houses, companies, hotels, you know, including houses with lions. Lions used as security in Nigeria. In the same country where some people are sleeping under the bridge. You know? So what did the government do? The government decided to create what is called Central Assets Management Committee so that government property recovered will not be wasted. You know? And will not be stolen because there is looting and there is looting. In the past, money will come back and it will be taken away. Today, money will come back, maybe it will not be taken away completely, or maybe a little part of it may be taken away. But I can assure you, what has come back to Nigeria is normally utilized for quite a number of social projects in Nigeria. So, remember also, government has brought about what is called bank verification number. All of us here know what is bank verification number. At least if you have 10 accounts, all of them must be tied. They must be tied to that so that the government can see if there is. That's why this Ologi has been monitored by the security agencies, and a lot of money has been dropped in close to 6 accounts. And in foreign currency, huge sum of money. You know? So bank verification number has helped, but there is still a problem. The problem is that some banks are conniving with some people for them to have even 2 bank verification number, and the government is now working to ensure that banks that connive for people to have 2 bank verification numbers are also punished. If you remember, Ebi Osinbajo has said that today, anybody who assists looters will be treated as partner in crime. You know, you are aiding and abetting. So, in the past, these things were not done, but today, some progress is being made. Now, I want to conclude on this one by saying that beginning from 2015 to date, the country has been fighting corruption. Some modest progress has been made, but there is a lot of room for improvement. And as you can see, you block this angle of corruption, then another angle crops up. You tackle this area, another area springs up. So it's our duty. It's not the duty of the president, the vice president, or this government alone. It's our duty, all of us that are here, to make a contribution and see how we can tackle corruption in Nigeria. And it is in this regard that I want to bring to your attention at least some new strategies that have been brought. Some of us who are members of civil society organizations may know about them, but they are being used globally now in the fight against corruption. One of them is to encourage all governments to be part of what is called OGP. OGP stands for Open Government Partnership. Now, if you go to page 6 of my paper, Nigeria has signed on to the OGP, Open Government Partnership. The essence of Open Government Partnership is that government business should not be too confidential. Of course, there are issues of national security. Those can be confidential. But government business should be transparent, should be open, and people should have information regarding what the government does. Therefore, local governments, state governments, federal government, state assembly, national assembly, whatever you are doing on behalf of the people should be known to the people. There shouldn't be too much confidentiality regarding government business. And in summary, that is what is called Open Government Partnership. Nigeria is part of the Open Government Partnership, and if you go to page 6, we are given at least 4 commitments. I can remember some of the fiscal responsibility. Fiscal transparency, and that means when we're dealing with taxes, collections, there should be a lot of, and I can tell you Nigeria has made a lot of progress regarding our membership. When Buhari went to London for a conference, you remember David Cameron said that Nigeria will attend an Afghanistan and Nigeria is fantastically corrupt. That was the time the president was there, and that was the time he gave a commitment to the world that Nigeria is going to be part of open government partnership. In other words, the business of government in Nigeria, at least federal government, he cannot commit local government and state government. But he has committed the federal government to open government partnership. He said that whatever the government is doing on behalf of the people should be made available. Of course, you cannot go and tell the entire world about our military, about our police, about our diplomacy. There are things that are of national interest, but if you are talking of the budget, if you are talking of legislation, if you are talking of information regarding recruitment, if you are talking of how to get contract, if you are talking of how to register a company, if you are talking of how to establish a business, all that should not be confidential, because it is that confidentiality that gives room for corruption. So people will use that and hide the information. You have to give money to get the information. Therefore, government should be open. Then number two, anti-corruption, and we are doing that. Any progress you want, any policy you want that policy to succeed, there must be the eradication or minimization of corruption. Number three, access to information. That's why we have passed the Freedom of Information Bill. It is now a law. Whatever information you want to get in government circle, you can apply. If you are denied, you can go to court. The citizen engagement. This one, the citizen should make a contribution regarding how he or she is governed. In other words, there must be some input from our people. So, civil society organizations here, political parties, politicians should know that there is what is called open government partnerships. In Nigeria today, I think only Kaduna and Edo states now are part of the OGP. Kaduna State is part of OGP, Edo State is part of OGP. Nigeria is a part. And efforts have been made to encourage more states in Nigeria to join the OGP. So I am telling you that one way of fighting corruption in Nigeria and globally is for states to be encouraged to join the OGP as states. Sokoto State should belong, Zamfara, all of them should be part of the OGP, believing that they will open the government so that if people have questions, they can go and question the leaders. If they have inquiries, they should go in. So if we have people who are aspiring to be governors here, who want to be legislators, please, when you get to the office, make sure you promote this idea of open government partnership, so that our children will wake up with this idea that government business is not totally confidential. Government business, which is meant for the people, should be open, should be transparent. That's number one. Number two, I am sure some of us have heard about investigative journalism. What is investigative journalism? Investigative journalism is where journalists conduct honest investigations about a matter that affects the public. I said honest because sometimes journalists can be mischievous. That's why I said honest investigation about a matter that affects the public, not personal interest, but matters that affects the well-being of the public. Now, in other countries, it is the journalist that does the investigation that will lead to arrest of criminals. But in Nigeria, it is the journalist, it is the arrest of the criminals by the law enforcement agencies that make the headlines. So we need to reverse the trend, or we should combine the two. We need investigative journalists. A very good example of investigative journalism was done in Ghana. is a journalist that went underground and he saw how money was distributed among judges. Lawyers were moving with sacks and truckloads of money from one judge to the other, and he was recording. Now he showed it. Then after showing it, there was investigation. After the investigation, many of the judges were dismissed. In Nigeria, I can give 2 examples. Kemi Adeosun didn't have certificate for NYC. And in fact, the one she got was fake. Now, a journalist went underground to do a thorough investigation about the entire matter. When he convinced himself that it was true, then he went to the public. Now she has resigned. You can see the benefit of investigative journalism. Thorough and honest investigation, then revelation. Then the next one is the Ganduje matter in Kano. The journalist has done what he calls investigation, even though that one has some problems. Because if you are doing whistleblowing, there is a lifetime span that you must release it. You cannot do, let's say, investigative journalism in 2016. Then you keep quiet until 2019 when there is going to be an election. 3 years in between. It can be investigative, but it's full of malice, vindictiveness, and political orientation. But that one is also a resemblance of investigative journalism. They use high-tech cameras, virus, and many other instruments to do thorough investigation, honest investigation, and then they release it. Then the next major example is, if you can remember, about Panama Papers. How many of us have read about Panama Papers? Now, Panama Papers have shown Panama Papers. Panama Papers have shown how businesses around the world refuse to pay tax. They move their businesses. Let's say they are Nigerians. They have a lot of businesses, but they move into what is called tax havens. Areas where they will go and do dirty businesses, and they don't pay tax to the home government. They don't pay tax back to their countries. Panama Papers has done a lot of revelation showing high-profile people, including Nigerians, that have unbelievable wealth set around the world. They are not paying tax. Then there is what is called Paradise Papers. The Paradise Papers have shown also how the elites steal money from their countries and move to areas that are of luxury, islands, just to go and enjoy their lives. So, I'm bringing to your attention that fighting corruption is only through ICPC, EFCC, Code of Conduct Bureau, or preaching in the mosque, or arresting people, taking to them. Yes, there are other ways of fighting corruption from the roots.